so Jake is pretty bean-shaped, alright? So actually we could start with this cube here, which is perfect. I'll give it a subdivision quick. And maybe another little extrusion. Perfect. We have something to work with. I always like to add this button on so I can make everything wrap around the mesh nicely. So let's bring Jake in here. So from a front view, just a little viewer. That's a little squashed, eh? I don't know. Maybe not. No? Alright, whatever. So I'm just going to put it on the side there, and I'm going to start building this shape out. I'm not actually going to make him T-pose or anything, just because I'm just going to have him sitting in this this pose. Maybe add a little subdivision, or add a little edge loop here. It's all about getting this initial shape right. Everything works out after this. Bring maybe another extrusion, scale this guy down. Let's take a look. Alright, it's starting to come into place. And we have a little bean shape. I think, though, this could probably come back here on this view. If you look at the side view of him, he's probably going to be a little more just flat shaped. Yes. And maybe scale this out just a little bit so it's not so pointed. Alright, I'm with it. Let's go ahead and right click, shade smooth. I'm gonna hide that layer for now. Just look what we have. Okay, so we have some arms, we got an ear to do, this nose portion. So I think let's actually let's work these legs here for a little bit, because I think that's going to be an important part to sort of get our character shape looking right. Quick and easy way you can do this is I'm actually going to do this with a curve. So add a path in. Anytime you have something tubular in any way, like a line or a curvy looking thing, you can pretty much usually make it work with a curve, and it's really easy. So we'll just start with a shape or with a path like that. Go into the curve data, and then under geometry here, I'll just actually, and then under bevel, I'll just give it a little bit of depth, just a little bit. And then that's good. So I'll go back into front view and then go into edit mode like this. And then if I scale everything down, I can just start rotating it into place. So I'll bring this guy up here, and this guy can go to the tip of the toe. And you just start putting everything where it belongs. And that's looking okay. Now, the coolest thing about this tool is that you can use Alt-S to scale in or out individual origins of the curve. So maybe here I'll scale in right where the ankle would start to be, and then I might even give this another extrusion here and scale this front bit in, just so we can start getting this toe shape looking right. Maybe one more extrusion, and I'm just gonna do Alt-S to 0, so we can just close that up. Let's look at the front view. Sweet. I'm gonna rotate all this on the 90 degrees. Or on the Z-axis, just so I can get it aiming out like it probably should be. Bring this up a little bit, bring this guy down. Alright. He's a little curved back here. Maybe I'll just subdivide these guys and bring this one back to make it a little less ridiculous. I'll just take this whole thing and duplicate it over to this side. And then maybe just move some points, get a little bit of variation so we don't have the exact same pose here. This doesn't have to match the character perfectly either. And again, these are cartoons, so we don't, from other angles it might not look perfect, but as long as from the front you're liking the way this is looking, then that's all that's mattering here. I'll hide this body, and let's add another cube. So this cube is going to be the nose, and I always start with the subdivision surface, so I'll just do let's do a control 3, just like the body was. Scale this down, and I'll actually just start extruding these out. So let me turn on the see-through mode here, and I will extrude this out, rotate it around. Yeah. Maybe I'll extrude this side too, just because it might be good to have like a center point to work off of. This does not need to have symmetry. If it does have symmetry, it might just look too robotic, but if it's not symmetrical, it might just be exactly what we're looking for. And maybe this is all a little thick, so I'll just scale it all in like that. And I think I'm actually just going to give this one here a bevel. Yes, that's what I need. That's what I needed. Why didn't you tell me that's what I needed? It's all about form. I'm trying to get that shape right. That's what I always talk about in my videos. It's all about the shape. Just keep working it until we find the right shape. I'll just duplicate this a little bit, extrude that down, and then if I go into the front view, maybe I'll subdivide that bit so it's a little more. Yes. If I scale this in, we're just trying to make this back portion here just maybe scale this up and just set it in a little bit, because really we don't want to see it too much. It just needs to be this bottom part, like where the chin is going to be here. Yes. All right. I'm gonna grab this point here, put my cursor right there, so when I add in another cube, just scale that boy down on the x-axis. We're trying to match this shape back here a little bit, just a little better. Maybe bring it up. So now I look at this. This is a little too cubic. I will bring all these. I'll bring these two up and scale them in a little more. Bring this side in. All right. We have the nose bit. Let me just save that, and I'll bring back my body here. I want to bring it forward. Oops. Let's look at from the front view. We're getting there. Rotate it a little bit. So I'll grab my object, and we'll just make a new material. We'll call this skin. We'll call this Jake Skin. Bang. Base color, you already know, it's right over here. I'll just grab my little pen drop, bam, and we're looking good. That's a little shiny for me. I'll bring the roughness up a good bit. Bring this specular down a little bit maybe. We'll keep it around 0.493, just about 0.493. Not going to be too crazy. Same thing for this guy. We'll give it the old Jake Skin material. And now it looks like we need a nose material. So I will make a new material. Nose. If I just tab in edit mode, select this guy here, and assign that the nose. And we'll just give it a black material. I like that it's a little shinier just because it's the nose. You ever look at like a dog's nose? It's kind of wet and reflective. And actually maybe to give that a little more material, we can just, a little more feel, we'll just go ahead and give it a noise texture and throw that right in on the bump. On a bump node, factor into the height, add into the normal, and now we can dial this in a little bit. Nice. Now I can bring this roughness up a little more. So now let's just take a look here what we're looking at. Cycles, GPU. Actually, we'll give the legs the Jake Skin also. And if I add in a light, just to get something, oh, we have a light here. Let's take a look. All right, we definitely need more. We're gonna add an HDRI. This seems like a place that Jake would adventure on one of his journeys, so that's cool with me. All right, so we need a tail, we need some hands, we need the eyes, and the ears. And I think we're almost there. Then we'll dial in the materials a little more and get them looking right. Add some lighting. So let's keep it moving here. So eyes. Eyes are going to be easy. I'm going to add an icosphere for the eyeball, and let's just give it 3 subdivisions, and then heck, I'll give it 4. Who cares? And then I'll go ahead and shade smooth and scale this guy way down. Now the thing about Jake's eyes is they're round over here, but they're still flat, so they're not like bulging out of his head. So we'll have to see what we can do to make them look okay, because they have to sit behind this nose, but in front of this sphere. But they have to be the right size too. So we'll just sit them in there as we see fit. And we need another eyeball right over here. Okay. Alright, let's make this eye material. So we're going to want to make this a glass material, or very reflective. So roughness to 0. Make sure they're shade smooth. We will make this base color black. Okay, that's going to be like the outer rim. And how do we want to do this? Let's do a texture coordinate. We will separate the XYZ value with a generated coordinate. Let's look on a color ramp here to see what we're working with. And let's just take a look at maybe the X. Oh yeah, we want to do the Y value. I'm actually going to delete this one for now. Bring a new one exactly over here on the X side. Alright, now we can work this color ramp a little bit. So, I'm going to bring this back. Yes, alright, bring this guy back. We'll flip these, the white and the black. And how much is it? Okay, it's pulling out a good bit, so I'll come all the way up here. That might be good. Okay, I want to bring this pretty close so we're getting more of a seam. I do want to have a little bit of a gradient fall off just so it kind of looks cool. And then I'll plug this color right into the base color. And now let's see what we're working with. Okay, alright. I want to give it a clear coat. That'll give it like an extra layer of shine on the outside. Just an extra layer. Let's give it like 2 levels of clear coat. Just really make it feel like just something shiny and wet. And maybe we'll bring this down to like 0.005. Alright. Sweet. Alright, I'm cool with that. Now let's move it into place. Now I can just rotate it. So now if I look from the front view, it would look beautiful. This is actually making me realize we can probably even bring this closer. I think these eyes need to be a little bigger, both of them. Let's get an ear. I'll do it right in the body. Heck, why not? And I'll extrude one side out. Yeah, this is already looking good. I know what I'm doing. Scale it on the Z-axis. Maybe one right here. Bring it down. Cool. I think these need to come in a little bit. Just on the Y. We need to just taper the ear off a little bit. And then maybe if we're feeling special, we'll bring this up a little bit. Just to give it a little bit of rotation. Sweet. Now we can scale this whole thing down and put it right where the ear would be. Shade smooth. Just for my own sanity, I'm going to put another ear on this side. This character does not look like, it's not symmetrical at all. Like, there's no way you're going to rig this character up, but we're just trying to match this field of view here. Perfect. And that's weird. So this has got to come back here. Yeah, just to have something over there. Maybe you're going to catch the light on it a little bit. I don't know. I don't know. Let's keep moving. Arms and a tail. That's pretty much what we have left. Maybe we can start designing this material, maybe? Some lighting to really show them off. So let's go ahead and add a ground plane. Let's make a lighting setup. I've been really into this lighting here, where I do. So I have my background here, just for a little bit of reflection light. So I'll bring it down a whole lot because I don't really want that to like contribute to most of the lighting. And then I will, now that he's kind of in darkness, I can add my own lights in. So I'll add an area light and just from behind. I like to give 2 from behind because that will put this nice edge glow around our character. Make this light probably size of 2, like 125 power. Bring it up a little bit. Let's do 420. Sweet. Okay, and now we'll do another one on this side. Just to get some nice rim light around our character. And then we'll make it 225. We don't want to blow them away. And let's get another light out in front just to kind of fill in a lot of these shadows. But I don't want this to like overpower the light from behind, just because I really want that light to stand out. Beautiful. Now when I look at this character, clearly he needs some subsurface scattering. He just looks like Play-Doh. Alright, I'm with it. Let's do arms, so we can do them similar. Let's add in another path on the same object. Scale this guy down. Make sure we're on medium point. So what are we looking at for arms? They're just sort of coming out of the front, eh? How thick are these arms? About the same thickness as that. So below the ear, to the left of the eye, I'm cool with that. This can stay here. This one will come down. This will be our, like, elbow. Can have another piece for the elbow, so. And then this is going to be in front. He's got his hands out front. He's sort of like doing one of these things. Alt-S, scale it down a little bit. We don't need too much. Scale down the wrist a little bit. Maybe this guy too. So I'll just extrude this bit out. Scale that down. And then another one. Scale that down to 0. Cool. And we'll do another one over here for the other hand. Shift-E, X. Scale the X into -1. Bring it over here. Let's look at the front view. How are we looking? So yeah, this arm needs to sort of come in more. And he's got a pull thing going on. Maybe this will be a little further down. And I'm really feeling like this has to come back further. He looks like he's about to fight someone here in mine, but he just looks so cute over there. I don't know why mine's looking different. That's okay. Alright, we're getting somewhere. Let's do hands, which will be pretty easy. Start with a cube. We can just grab one of these sides, give it a little bevel until it's about the same size as those. Grab everything, scale it down to the Z-axis. Maybe we'll bevel this side over here too, just a hair. Okay. Now I'll grab 1, 2, 3. Alt-E, extrude these individual faces. Scale them down a little bit. And extrude those out. Now bring them all in. Bring them all in. Now I'll just bring this down. A little something like that. Now let's make these fingers not so skinny. Now it's time for the old... Well, actually, I'm looking at these hands again. Maybe I need to bring this out even more. Yes, that was what it was missing. Okay. Now, good old Control-2 to see where we're going. And it's making me realize that this needs to be in more. We need to do some work here. Get these looking a little better. His hands are just looking too lumpy. Same thing for this guy. You're not going to see much of this. It's just going to be a small little hand, this detail. So nice. I don't know. They're actually all touching. Maybe I should bring them in closer. Maybe this one's just too protruding. Okay, nice. We have a hand. I'm going to scale this guy down, and we're going to put it right where it belongs. Nice. We kind of want these to, like, sit well together. Does it need to be rotated a little bit? Yeah, probably. We'll do one on this side too. Shift-D, rotate it. I'm actually just going to move this whole thing, this whole arm bit. But maybe it's all about that front view. Yep, it's all about this view. And give these hands a nice material. And I'm feeling that for some reason he's not standing out enough, so maybe I make this ear a little bigger. Something about it is just not reading well. And it's because there's these black lines to define separation in character limbs on the 2D, but we don't get that in 3D. Okay, so I'll duplicate this bit over just to make a tail. What are we looking at for a tail? It's just a little nubby thing. And it's not perfect for that, but it looks good. So let's bring our camera right here. Bring this tail out a little bit. Yes, okay. I'm done with this character over here. And so ground, let's just give it a quick material. And then now I'm thinking the background's not fitting the environment anymore. So let's load up something else. Okay. So now I think it's also time to add in just some extra lights around the outside, we can give it this action scene feel if we make some lights different colors. So we'll do like an orange, like a warmer light coming in from one side. Just sort of bringing the whole scene in a little bit. Yeah. Let's just go like, let's try 300. This might be too much, we'll see. Okay. And actually I might just turn this light back here to like a blue, more like a moonlight thing happening, like just to give him some separation. Yeah, let's bring this up. 700, what are we looking at? I think I'll even bring in the camera just a little bit. Maybe have a little zoom in on him. And then one thing that always helps is you give a little right click, pick the depth of field, and just depth of field on the eyes. It always helps you things stand out a little bit. And then aperture. If your scene scale is set up right, these numbers should work properly, but sometimes you have to drop them to unrealistic numbers, like f-stop of 1. But I'll do like 1.4 in this case, just because I don't want it to be too shallow. Switch my color management over to look. We'll give it a high contrast look, and then render. Got a little raisin nose in here. Alright, cool. So the render's finished up. Okay, so I know what you're going to say in the comments. You're going to look at this and say, hey, Jake's a dog, so technically he should have fur. And maybe you're right, but the thing is, if you look at Jake, if I were to add fur on this character, it would kind of maybe start falling into the Uncanny Valley region. So I wanted to keep him with this simple, flat, smooth shaded look because that's what Jake is, really. He's just, if you look at the 2D version, he's got this flat look, and if it was too furry, it might start to not resemble Jake. So I like how it came out. So let me know in the comments if there's any other videos you'd like to see, if there's any other characters you'd like to see me do. In the future, I'm going to do Courage and then Doug Dimmadome. Those are two characters I definitely want to do coming up. So, yeah, let me know. Thanks for watching.